So one of the nice things about logic and the logic of these categorical syllogisms is you can actually divorce valid from true. Right? Valid talks about whether the logic works. Does the conclusion follow from what the premises are? Truth is what is the state of the world, what is real. And so, while valid refers to whether the argument is logically consistent, it will give you something that's true. So a valid argument will give you a true conclusion, but only if both the premises are true. That is, if you have two true premises and a valid syllogism, your conclusion will have to be true. But you can divorce truth from validity. That is, you can have a completely logical conclusion, a conclusion that follows logically from the premises, that is untrue, if one or both of the premises are false. And what that means is we can actually divorce truth from validity in research, so that we can study people's ability to understand the logic outside of its relationship to their knowledge of what's true. You can look at people's ability to evaluate logic without being contaminated by what their beliefs are about truth. Does that make sense at all? So let's try it. So here's a syllogism. All students are intelligent. All intelligent people are married. Therefore, all students are married. Is that a valid argument? Well, it is. It's just not true. It's Aristotle's perfect syllogism. All A are B, all B are C, therefore all C are A. The logic works. The conclusion's not true. But if you ask people to evaluate the logic, they should say, yeah, it's a valid syllogism. It's just not true. Partly because clearly at least one of the premises is not true. Not sure which one, but at least one. I'll give you another example. All students are tired. Some tired people are irritable. Therefore, some of the students are irritable. Valid or invalid? Well, it turns out it's actually invalid. It just might be true. So, the way to evaluate these, by the way, is to use Venn diagrams. Picture it, and it'll help you. So, it could be true, right? So I have all students are tired, so everything in the student circle is within the tired circle. Some tired people are irritable. Therefore, some students are irritable. Could be true, but it doesn't happen. That is, you can't draw that final conclusion based on the two premises, because you could also have this, which fits the premises, right? All students are tired. Some irritable people are tired. Therefore, some students are irritable? No, they could totally not overlap. And so both the premises, or the combination of the premises, do not logically lead to that conclusion. So, which is why it's not valid. Both premises could be true, but the conclusion could still be false. And if both premises are true in a syllogism, and the syllogism is valid, the conclusion must be. So, going back to the statement though, you can also kind of demonstrate this by just swapping out some words. So suppose I swap out students for men and irritable for women, everywhere they appear. Then you'd end up with this, which is all men are tired, some tired people are women, therefore some of the men are women. And that, you should be like, wait, no, those things are, what? That doesn't work, right? But it's exactly the same logical form as this, right? I'm just substituting men for the women students and women for tired, and I should be able to substitute any nouns I want for those. Tired is something mentioned. But I should be able to substitute anything for those, and it should still hold if it's a logical system. All right, so what's the point? It turns out that people are terrible at evaluating whether these types of syllogisms, even basic categorical syllogisms with only two premises and a conclusion, are valid or not. And you can get error rates consistently at like 80% for particular invalid syllogisms where people say, oh, they're valid syllogisms. They're invalid. And the fact that we're that bad at even these really simple logical forms suggests that we don't reason via logical forms, via these logical processes. After all, if you've ever taken a class in logic, we have to have like college courses in logic, and they're hard because we don't intuitively think that way. In addition, the types of errors people make are really telling about what's actually happening. Which is, and this kind of came out in just the examples I used, right? Which is when in the first case, where the conclusion was like, therefore all intelligent people are married, people were like, no, that's invalid. That's not valid. The second one, where you're like, some tired people are irritable, you're like, well, yeah, that's valid. Because the conclusion, in the first case, seemed unbelievable, in the second case, believable. And when you divorce logical validity from truth, what you find is a belief bias. Where people, if they believe the conclusion, will rate a syllogism as valid, pretty highly rated as valid, if it is in fact valid. But if they believe the conclusion, they'll also rate an invalid